Sutra number 27. Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. Translation: He is represented through the sound vibration Om. Any entity, when it needs to be communicated, needs to have a designation or a name. Without a designation or a name, how do you communicate? So God needs a name. And that name for God in the Vedas, amongst other names, is Om. This Om is also called Pranav. It represents the formless aspect of God, without any attributes, without any designations, without any forms. His all-pervading formless aspect is represented by the Om. This Om is particularly significant because it is a cosmic sound. This whole universe is pervaded by Om. So, in the Vedas, the Om comes in the beginning of mantras as the beej, as the seed. So, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, the Om comes there. So Om is uncontroversial. Anybody, everybody can accept this Om. There are many yogis who are drawn to the formless aspect of God. They enjoy meditating upon Om. But what is important is the name of God. Whichever name you wish to take, do remember His name. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Vedas say, when God created this world, before He created the physical entities, earth, water, fire, air, sky, He created the sound, Om. And from that sound came sky. And then everything else unfolded. So there's a parallel between these different scriptures, and all of them emphasize the name of God. So what is the advantage of the name of God? Our mind, it fluctuates in its thoughts. We don't keep the mind focused in one place. So in a minute, you're thinking this and then thinking that and then thinking a third thing, and so on it goes. So if we can develop this habit of taking God's name, the mind gets yoked to it. So that in order to bring the mind under control, the chanting of His name becomes very advantageous. This chanting of the name can be done in different ways. One is Upanshu. Upanshu is where your lips are closed or are slightly open, and you are chanting but nobody can hear you. You are chanting, nobody can hear you. One is Manasik. You are just chanting in the mind, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. And one is Vachak, when you are actually speaking it out. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And one is Kirtan, where you are singing it loudly with the playing of musical instruments. So all these are different ways of taking the name of God. And devotees of the Lord, they take advantage of all of these. Kripaluji Maharaj, he says, Shwas jab khincho to raakahu, man hi man te pyare. श्वास जब छोड़ो तो कहूँ धे, ध्यान भी करूँ प्यारे, ध्यान भी करूँ प्यारे. Says, when you breathe in your mind, chant Ra. And when you breathe out, in your mind, chant De. So with every breath, you will remember Radharani. Radhe, Radhe. Alternatively, you can chant Radhe Krishna, or Sita Ram, or Namah Shivaya. In other words, use your breath to remember God. The saints have reminded us, Shwas Shwas Sumiran Karo Yah Upaya Bado Neek. Kabirji says, this is a beautiful strategy to remember God with every breath. So, while remembering, we must also create those sentiments. And for that, the saints inform us that remember, there is no difference between God and His name. That distinction is there in the world. The word water and the entity water, they are separate. If you are thirsty, mere repetition of water, water, water will not quench your thirst. But in the spiritual realm, God is non-different from His name. God's names, forms, virtues, pastimes, abodes, associates, Naam, Roop, Leela, Gun, Dham, Sant, they are all one. So because they are all one, God is sitting inside His name. There is no difference. If you can have faith in this, then when you take the name, the sentiments will naturally be there, that He is manifesting in the form of His name when I am chanting it. And with that kind of sentiment, when we take the name, Lord Shankar, Shivji says, Rakaradini namani shrinvato mama parvati manah prasannatam yati rama nama bhishankaya. He says, O Parvati, when I hear someone say Ra, I feel thrilled that he is going to say Ma. He intends to say Rama. He may say one afterwards, Ra, one. But I get thrilled merely hearing Ra. This is Lord Shiv's sentiments towards the name, because he sees the name as non-different from the Lord. So even in the world, the name does have an effect. If you were to chant cancer, 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 cancer 10,000 times, it would change your mood. If you were to chant hate, 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 hate 50,000 times, you would get depressed. And if you were to chant love, love, love 100,000 times, your personality would change. So now what is the power of chanting God's name? Maharshi Patanjali talks about this in the next sutra.